isn't your typical motorsports podcast. You're listening to Crush This, a monster truck podcast presented by High Octane Coffee and J Concepts. A show where we take you inside the minds of your favorite drivers, past and present, of the monster truck industry. And now, your hosts, Brad Shaw and Dan Chichagash. Buckle in. The show starts now.
Hey, there we go. Welcome to Crush This, a monster truck podcast presented by High Octane Coffee and J Concepts. Want to thank our people below. Right now, gotta change the banner a little bit because I screwed that up. Because Scott, our guest, is our guest. So, go ahead. Hey, welcome back to Brad. Hey, how you doing, Brad?
I am back.
How's everything going?
You know what? It's been a whirlwind lately. I'm just going to be upfront and honest. You know, I had to take a little bit of a break from the podcast to get myself mentally healthy. You know, I talk about, check up on your friends and family and make sure they're doing good. And I'll be honest, I wasn't. A lot of stuff has happened to me, personally here. And, I talked over with Dan and, I just need to take a bit of a break. But I'm back. I'm doing a lot better. I'm getting the help that I need. So I'm excited to be back. And, things are going to keep rolling from here. So I just wanted to thank Dan for taking charge of the podcast for the last little bit. It means a lot to me. We've been doing this thing for so long. And, it's great to have a partner and a co-host like Dan. And, like I said, I'm doing better. I'm getting the help. And, mental health is important. And at some point, we are doing an episode about mental health. That's something that's very important to realize that you're not alone in what you're dealing with and in your struggles. So watch out for that one soon. It's probably next month is what my guess is. But yeah, I'm back, ready to kick ass as usual. Cheech, how you been, bro?
I'm doing good, getting ready for some shows here. February 5th and 6th at Corbin, Kentucky. It will be the Monsters of Destruction Tour. Not the same group that happened like in 2005, but they're the same group that did the Monster Nationals. Lineup for that's going to be Raminator, Rammunition, War Wizard, Nitro Menace, and Jailbird. And Jailbird's going to be driven by Nick Minguez. So that's going to be pretty cool to watch. Kind of see Nick behind the wheel. This is going to be his first quarter behind the wheel, so that's going to be pretty cool. But outside of that, we also want to thank Back Channel Productions. Take a look at the video that he just produced. We had it. It's weird. I have two screens, so I'm looking at the screen, but I'm supposed to look at the camera. Screen camera. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Anyway, so he did a Thunder Nationals bio, born in the bio. It's a little bit of a taste of what's happening. So it's going to be coming out. He did helped a podcast called Retro Monster Truck Review. And it's produced and starting with Josh Rhodes. He's a pretty cool gentleman. He's been on our podcast tons of times with RC Talk, but he's also a huge monster truck fan. He's actually a pretty good monster truck video game racer. That's how we know him. Multi-time champion.
Like 20 something odd times.
Something like that. I think he owned it, back in the early 2000s when Bigfoot had his own league, so Bigfoot would just win anything. It's kind of like that. Josh had his own league and he won anything. So anyway.
By the way, Josh, I'll point at you all I want. Dig, okay? Don't tell me to do
right, Brad. Brad, calm down. Brad, chill. Calm down. Don't even get the water bottle. Spray you, your little cat face. Anyway, so go check that out, the Retro Monster Truck Review. Well, Nick Davis was helping that out with the Return of the Monster Trucks, which is pretty cool. And then, so go check that out, the Thunder Nationals. That's pretty awesome. 6B Apparel. We got some big things coming in the works. We'll take a look in the next actually a few months from now, because he's a little bit busy. But our crew shirts are still for sale. We got the retro look and the OG, $100 a pop. Message us at Crush This Facebook page, and we'll help you out. Or if you're friends with us, just message either of us, but just go through the Crush This Facebook page, and then we'll go from there. Also, JB Scale Graphics. Go ahead and check a look at them. They're the official license of Obsessed, Bad Habit, the legendary Bigfoot, and all the other trucks that are out there right now. Take a look against the grain, and it'd be pretty cool to get your RC trucks to look like that, especially those LMT monster trucks that just came out from Losi. Go ahead and have that going on. So pretty much that's been a big shout out. Getting ready for some first quarter. A little bit weird that we're not doing anything in the beginning of January, but we'll get the ball rolling here in February and try to get this 2021 off to a kick. Show some love here from Josh and Nick here about the projects and stuff like that. You're welcome, Josh, for the shout out. If anyone wants to bug this guy, there he is right here. If this thing
and
wants
I'll just
to
say
pop.
this, as long as we've known Josh, he's an awesome dude. Excited to see what he's doing. It's about darn time. If anybody kind of has seen on YouTube, Josh did the whole kind of compilation of Bigfoot versus Gravedigger. So go check that video out. A lot of effort went into that video. It's one of my favorites that he's ever made. And check out his RC stuff. Dig has some awesome RCs. Just go check his stuff out. We love having him on, and excited to see what he does with this podcast that he's doing. So
yeah, just follow up on him. So anyway, that's about it for news and information, all that exciting stuff. Thank you once again, the High Octane Coffee, and also J Concepts. J Concepts here. They'll be at the RC event Saturday at Jason and Lonnie Childress are actually hosting it. So if you don't know them, they were old school, not old school. They were in the mid '90s of monster truck racing. People may people forget that we had Jason on a few months ago. So, and Lonnie on the audio one. Don't forget, fans, that this audio version is going to be on tonight. When? I don't know. I got to upload it. So we're going to do that and get this ball rolling. For further ado, this guy, actually, it's a pretty cool story. When he was driving the Hot Wheels truck, he was touring with Monster Dalmatian. It was the first team I was ever part of as a crew member when I first started off. So he has drove a lot of monster trucks in the Monster Jam world, known as the Backflip King. People say that, but his interviews are top notch. One of the most exciting interviewers I have ever seen. And I always consider him one of the nicest people I ever met. He's one of those guys where he may just first meet you, but he will talk to you like he knew you for 20 years. So it's pretty cool to have him on. And people call him the Backflip King, but I always call him Team Hot Wheels. So, and that's further ado, Mr. Scott Buetow.
Hey guys, how you doing?
There he is.
How's it going, man?
My tire, my
did you?
You're in a hotel tonight?
I am in Homedale, New Jersey.
Ah, Dirty Jersey.
Yeah, little Jersey Shore coming on here. Yeah, so been doing a lot of traveling and stuff for work. So it's all good, man. How you guys doing?
And doing good. Up here in snowy old cold Canada. So.
Oh hey on there.
Nothing to report. Good old Alberta, Canada. So it's
all right. Hey, I work for a company. I do operations in all the engineering for a company called Magical Lights. We do 2 shows in Canada. We do Ottawa and Edmonton. We do 11 shows across North America. So there you are, buddy.
I'm only about maybe 3.5, 4 hours away from Edmonton. So
just throw a rock, hit it, man. There you go.
So, with the podcast, we like to start off with, kind of get a little backstory about yourself, how you got into the sport of monster trucks, and kind of what led you to Monster Jam. What's the kind of behind the scenes of that?
How long you guys got? It's a long.
Oh, we got a little time in the world, man.
Yeah, I guess everybody asks that. How'd you get started? And I always say this. Everybody has a very unique background. If you look at everybody in Monster Jam now, the backgrounds are just one's here, one's all over the map. But I have to give you a little backstory with Monster Jam, because Monster Jam hasn't been like this, back in the 90s or 80s. Monster Jam was like what it is now with independent shows where you drove, you crewed, you drive, you fixed it. But around 2000, they brought in Chad Fortune, they brought in Deuce. I think they brought in O'Donnell then. 03 it was Bellham and Bradshaw. 07, but those in early 2000 they started looking for different traits, different personalities. They wanted something different in front of the mic. And that's why you look at how he brought Fortune and he brought the wrestling side of it, the charisma, the attitude in front of the mic. But around 07, I had an opportunity to test and drive for, at the time, it was Live Nation Motorsports. It wasn't Feld Entertainment. It was Live Nation. So in 07, I got an opportunity to do a test. And I want to say it was late 07 or 08. I went to Digger's Dungeon, North Carolina there. And at the time you tried out, there was like 5 people there, and they see how you did in front of the mic, see how you did in the truck, because driving the truck at the time wasn't what they were looking for, all of it. They were looking for personalities, flair, what could you do with public relations in front of the camera and stuff. But everything went well for me in 07, 08 roughly. But what happened was Live Nation sold Monster Jam, the whole motorsports division, to Feld Entertainment in 2008. So when that happened, they stopped hiring. They stopped hiring drivers, stopped making trucks. So then my window of opportunity closed. But then I caught wind that they were making an Ironman truck in 09, 010, because 08, the Ironman truck came out. So I pitched an idea to Feld Motorsports at the time of why I was a perfect fit just in a truck. Because my background in engineering, and I don't know if you guys know, I've been 30 years of engineering. I have 12 United States patents. So I wanted to fit a role to get my foot in the door with Ironman at the time. Because, the background with Tony Stark, he's an engineer by day, and at night he's an Ironman. So I just pitched this thing. I put together a portfolio, a whole entire marketing thing, just so it would at least, because if you have any type of job you go to, right? People who are hiring, you have all these resumes all over your desk, right? But if something sticks out, you'll remember it. So mine was a glossy picture of Iron Man and myself and my background, my story and history, but it stood out. And then 2000, and I think it was 9 or 10, Mike Wales called me and asked if I was still interested in driving. And I just opened that door, kicked it open, and there it was. But kind of a long story, but I like I said, it started in 07 when they started looking at different personalities in 2000 to 07. And I just took advantage of an opportunity and kicked the door open, and there she was.
So the fit of the Iron Man truck, they wanted you there to be the first truck, correct? So they pitched it. You got the call. You got behind the wheel of the truck.
Actually, Lee O'Donnell got the first thing. They started building it, and Lee got to drive the truck, and I'm like, oh man, that's the truck I wanted. But luckily, they built another one, a second truck, and that's when I went in. I actually drove Monster Mutt, was my first, because I tested in 07 or 08. They called me back in 10, end of 09, I can't remember now. And then they asked, I had to go back and do another retest to see how I would do. So I had to go through the whole thing again, and they're like, all right, we're going to send you to Mexico. I go, when? They go, this weekend. Cool, man. So they sent me to Mexico City, and I drove Monster Mutt there. So that was my first truck I drove. It was Monster Mutt, and then they built another Ironman truck, and that's where it went.
See, the one thing I have to say is where you were at in the timeline of kind of the Monster Jam world was you guys were still not touring, but you were going to different spots around the country. So one week, like Manchester, New Hampshire, then the next week you could be at Houston, Texas.
Yeah.
Or there was different places. So your learning experience on driving the truck had to be awesome.
Well, it was awesome, but also it's kind of sketchy because up until the time from 2007, 2010, with Mexico, I always drove on dirt. But my first show in Ironman was in Manchester, I believe, which you said that, and it was a concrete show, and I was teammates with Adam Anderson, and I said to him, I go, how do you hit a car? Because I never hit a car. All I hit was dirt ramps. All I tested was dirt ramps. They didn't have cars. It was concrete and dirt, man. It was Thunder Nationals. And he goes, just hit it like you would a dirt. I go, come on, man. I think he was messing with me because the one thing I was told, Ironman, don't do any damage. That was the only thing Mike Whale said to me, don't do any damage. First show out, man, in racing, first hit. I lined up down the converter, hit that sucker like this, and just bam, right onto the concrete, dude. Check that one off, won't do that again. The next day, I did the same damn thing, man. I wrecked that truck twice in the same weekend, and that started off me driving Ironman, and it was crazy. Fun and games, man. Just nothing but fun.
Man, talk about trial by fire, and especially giving a rookie, one of the trucks with the most expensive body. Don't wreck it. First show out, completely destroys it. It's
I hit that car so hard, man. I mean, before I know it, I was already barreled over and landed right on the roof, man. So I was like, well, welcome to Monster Jam, man. But no,
yeah.
Get back on the touring thing, Cheech. It used to. I preferred that way. Now it's a touring type of model where you 2 trucks stay in a trailer and you stay with everybody in tour, and that makes more sense to me. It'd be more efficient and probably more economical. But the reason I like the old school way better, because every single weekend you see people you don't see. Now, like you go 3 months and you see the same people every single weekend, and that's awesome. But I like seeing different people. I like hanging out with Dan Brash. I like hanging out with George Bellhan, Lindsey Wink. You know what I mean? Because you got a chance to see people you didn't see throughout the year. You have to wait to Vegas to see those guys, and that's the one thing that I missed with that type of touring type of model than we do what we have now today. But I get it.
Right.
On the financial side, I understand why we do it this way.
So people always like the one picture I posted yesterday was another show, I believe, in Manchester, was when you accidentally did a stoppie, which happened maybe 5 or 6 years prior to now the norm. But
yeah,
can you take us back to that situation if you remember? Like,
I remember it. It was I came off of a van stack, and when you're inexperienced, everything around you seems really close. But now it seems like you have all day to drive. You come down, you land, and it's all time in the world to turn. But then I came off van stack and landed. I felt like I was already getting close to the trucks, so I hit the brake as I landed too, and that brought me up. And then so I actually had to hesitate for a minute and kind of like breathe. I didn't know what to do, so I just breathed for a minute and hung up there, and I hit the gas and came back down. It worked out. I've seen a lot of guys where it doesn't and you flop over, but my reaction was to relax a minute and just breathe, and it worked out for the best, obviously. But yeah, I remember like it was yesterday, man.
So let's go back to your testing sessions. Who was there? Was Mike Wales there? Like what? Who trained you in those testing sessions?
It was. Let me think.
It was at the Carolina place, wasn't it?
Yeah, Paul.
Paul Cohen?
Yeah, Paul Cohen was there. He was the main one. Obviously, Wales was there. Henry was there. Shoot, I'm trying to think, man. There's
was Dennis with you?
Dennis never. He was there, but he wasn't there. He was in the shop, man. He was having fun.
Okay.
But I tell you a funny story. My second time out there, 09, 10, what the heck it was, when I was testing, here comes this bald kid coming across the field on a four-wheel. It was Adam. He shaved his head back in the day. He had a tattoo on his head, shaved his head. And he looked at me, he goes, man, I can't look at you anymore. He goes, you look like you're ready to snap. You look like a bobblehead in there. Because we didn't have Hans devices. You tested with a friggin' donut on, man. And they made you go, you went through, the pounding. You didn't get this, you get a Hans, you get this, all nice equipment. No, man. You brought your motorcycle helmet, and that's all you had, dude. So I brought my stupid motorcycle helmet, and that was it. But so Adam came across, and this is how cool Adam is, and I have all the respect in the world for Adam. He gave me his Hans and his helmet. He goes, start wearing this, man. I'm tired of seeing you knock your head around. So I literally used his helmet and his Hans the first time ever I used one, and I'll never forget that, because that's the one thing about Adam. He would get a shirt off the back for people. So I have the utmost respect for Adam Anderson. But that was, but like I said, it was Paul Cohen, man. I couldn't think of his last name, but Paul is sweet dude, man. Talk about a sweet dude, man. But it's him and then a couple of dudes and Mike Jones tested. He was there at the time too.
Might be having connect issues.
Yeah. There you go. You there, Scott?
You good?
There we go. There we go.
Are you okay?
Yep. Are you all right?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, we got yep.
I'm good, yeah.
Yep.
I don't know how much you talked there. Yeah. How much did you lose? I was talking for a while. How much did you lose when you talking? What was the last thing you heard?
Last thing you were talking, Mad Mike Jones.
Yeah, he was there. He tested too as well, man. What a crazy dude, that FMX rider. But there was like 5 people there testing that day, and but that like I said, like Adam gave me his Hans and his helmet and let me use that, so that was cool of him.
So you drove Ironman for a few years between I think either it was 13 or 14. You get the chance to get behind the wheel of Team Hot Wheels Firestorm. How did that come about? And for a lot of people, when they talk about the Team Hot Wheels truck, they picture you. I know there was a lot of drivers previously, like Neil Elliott, Dan Evans, Guy Wood. A lot of people drove
Neil
the truck.
Neil Elliott in the World Finals, he drove it. You know, at the time I was driving Hot Wheels, and they were looking to make Hot Wheels. It was a sponsor, but they were trying to make it more of a Lucas Oil or a Monster Energy or something like that, a sponsorship truck to the next level. So again, they had a marketing plan put together of what they were looking for in a driver, what they wanted to, because at the time I think Hot Wheels had, was it the yellow team, the green team, the red team, the blue team, they all different things they were pitching at with the kids. But the yellow side was the monster truck side, which was the Firestorm, and in there had aggressive, had this type of personality, this as a driver, and I fit the bill as what they were looking for. And there were a couple of drivers they were looking at the time, but again, it was all about fitting that image and what you can bring outside of the truck and inside of the truck too. They wanted something different, something raw, something that was just not there in Monster Jam. So, you know, again, another opportunity. And that's what I tell people all the time. I tell my kids, never stay within in these boundaries. Always look for other opportunities and always have an open mind to different things, because there's so many opportunities around you. You never know who you're talking to or who you're working with. Always keep an open mind and talk to people with that open mind, because you never know what kind of opportunity is going to be out there for somebody. You know, you don't know what something's going to lead to. Even if you might say, I might not be interested. Don't say no to it. Open the door and see what's beyond that door and see what's over there, because it could lead to something really.
You there,
Man. So,
Brad?
and that's what I do. I keep an open mind to everything that I have. So, darn it, man. Something spotty with internet, eh?
It goes like off and on. I think that next door neighbor of yours is using the internet. You got to knock on. Hey.
I can try to get on my phone.
Sometimes that hotel stuff.
Yeah, I know hotels can be very spotty with internet.
Can you guys see me now?
Yeah, we could hear you. Then it's just like then you got the robot voice kicking in.
Yeah,
I can switch to my phone for guys.
Yeah, that might be better. It might be a little bit better quality and everything too.
Mm-hmm. We'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and switch on your phone there, Scott, and then we'll. A
little bit of technical difficulties here, guys. Hotel Wi-Fi can be very, very crappy.
Yeah, very crappy. I think I believe, I don't know if Scott's gonna get a cell phone or not, but we'll go ahead and put him down until he's ready.
Yep. So, it's interesting to hear, from that story with Adam, like them testing and not using Hans and
Okay.
Adam. Oh, you got it?
All right. Okay, Scott has his cell phone. Okay, so he just left that one. Okay, now he's on his cell.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Can you hear me all right?
Oh, yeah.
All
right. All right.
There we go.
All right.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let me prop my darn phone up here somewhere. There we go.
Hey, no issues. Hotels can have really crappy internet. I've experienced it.
Yeah, no worries, man. Sorry about that, guys. But no, man, it's all about, like I said, it's all about opportunities. And with Hot Wheels, it was just an opportunity, and they were looking for something, like I said, a little different with what they're looking for with Team Hot Wheels at Firestorm. And again, I took advantage of an opportunity and pitched the idea of why I fit that truck.
So I want to go back just a little bit again to your rookie years. So who were the drivers that kind of took you under their wing? You mentioned Adam coming over and letting you use his Hans and his helmet. Who were the drivers that kind of took you under their wing and like, hey, come along with me?
Not many at all. I'm gonna tell you right now, no one's nice to the rookie. No one gives the rookie good advice. No one. It's if anybody says they do, no one took me under my wing because and I say this, I'm trying to say this politically correct. It's very hard to find people who want to have you succeed in life in general. I tell it to my kids, when you find that person, that's a friend, right? Because throughout your life, you might have a handful of friends. Only one or two are going to be your real friends. And I'll tell you a funny story. I still hang out with a guy who I went to kindergarten with. That's my best friend. And out of all the friends I've had my whole entire life, there's only one person. It's actually two people who I still hang out with in kindergarten. But that's it, man. But my rookie year, nobody was your friend. Absolutely not. But I tell you, the one person who over the years, who I am real good friends with now is Lindsey Wink, love to death, George Bellhan and Bradshaw and those guys. And the one thing I learned with everything you do is keep a very small circle. You go out with those people and stay within that circle. And Chief, you know that. When you start going out with other people and stuff like that is when people talk. And I like to keep a very small circle around me.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, yeah, exactly. And the more you get older and the more mature you get, I'm starting to realize there's a lot more acquaintances than there are friends.
Absolutely.
And then you have to watch your back because you don't know if they're going to use you as a stepping stone and leave you behind. And it sounds
unfortunate. It's unfortunate you don't learn that until later on in life, and like I said, I have kids, so I tell them all the time, and it's all about keeping people within that circle and having that really small circle. So it's something I learned. I tried, it's like a lot of people. You try to have everybody. You want everybody like you. It's a human nature to want to be liked. So you want to try to have everybody like you. You want to please everybody. But at the end of the day, it's not going to happen. At the end of the day, you have to take care of you, and you have to do you, and be honest and be real with yourself. And so it's something that I went through with Monster Jam, and but I have no regrets with anything. I love it. I loved everything about it. The one thing that I miss more than anything is the locker room, getting dressed, sitting doing a goof around, man, just goofing around with the guys. But I tell you, if there's anybody who I adore in Monster Jam is Lindsey Wink. He's just a good dude. You know what I mean? He's a guy that we text all the time. We talk, and he's probably one of those guys that I just have the most respect for.
Right. Yeah. Had a good time the second year of working for Monster Jam and the third year, and he's a good time. And
he's a prankster though. You gotta watch him. You gotta watch him though. And I tell you, that's one thing I don't say I miss it with Monster Jam because Now it's very professional. It's very regimented. Back then, man, you just goof around. You'd have some little more fun with things. You can get away with things, and it wasn't as like anything. It was just a little more free. So we had some good times that we can't really talk about. Yeah.
It's that Canadian. It's the whole Canadian mentality. He's a prairie boy, so you're always getting into trouble. And like we've heard that, we've talked to Frank Krimmel and Leo Donnell and a couple of people. It's just like there's that tight knit, group that of all you guys, and it's awesome to hear stories about that because as you said, your rookie year, you really didn't have anybody to lean on and help you out, and then you build friendships and everything with these guys, and you guys are still tight to this day, and that just shows that it's a loyalty thing. As soon as you find people you like, you're always with them.
My rookie year with Adam, I had a lot of fun. Adam's a good dude, man. He's a good dude to have fun with. I can tell you that. I probably laugh harder with that dude than a lot of people in my life. But Adam, rookie year being with Adam Anderson, that I can tell you, it's good times.
When we had that split and I switched with the other I think PCP, the other guy for the end of the year, Paul Curtis. I forget his last name, but I went after my first year with you guys, and I split, shift of years with Adam and them. There was some pranks that happened, and it was funny, mostly towards Woos, but that because it was Adam and Cole. And Woos.
I was
mostly towards Woos.
Yeah, dude, I was 2 years ago when I started driving on Toro Local Ice. I had Stancil as my crew, as the lead guy, and then I was with Adam and Woos. And woo, that was some good times with those guys. It was funny because it went full circle. I had Adam in the beginning, then I had him towards the end. But Adam, being teammates with Adam, man, you don't know what to expect. It's good. It's good times, man.
Right on. And then, so you get behind the wheel of, the Hot Wheels truck, and basically they gave you the ball. You basically ran it for the end zone, scored. And then people started notifying you as the when they see Team Hot Wheels, they know there's gonna be a backflip unless you're in an arena. But anyway, like how were you always thinking about how did you put the backflip as in your playbook?
Yeah, it's
how did you get that involved?
Sure. So with Hot Wheels, I think it was 2012 or 13 when I did my first backflip with them, and then I went right into the Path of Destruction tour. I did another one, and the next week did another one, and then actually Hot Wheels is the one who dubbed me. We'll call him the backflip king. So they dubbed me that, and then it just stuck. So then it went from there to all the way through that. But how I made it into my routine was I didn't want to be like everybody else where they would just drive around. Some people would drive around and just kind of putz around and then do it at the end to save the truck. I said, screw that. I'm going to do it right away. So I would literally wait for only 35 to 40 seconds into my run, and then I would do it right away, man, because I would get it over with then. And then I could continue my run rather than putz around for a little bit and then do a backflip and then it's end of your run. I wanted to get it done with right away. And when I did that and I was continuing to do that successful, at the 40-second mark, it would leave me with another minute to play around and do whatever the heck I wanted. So what that opened up was putting in the second backflip. Might as well try another one during my run. And that's how it all became. It was I was in Vegas. I'm like, you know what, man? I'm going to hit that backflip. It was 40 seconds, and I'm going to do another one because no one else was doing that. So then I did another one. But then it just became, I'll do another one too. So
I think you do have the record right now for doing the most backflips in the World Finals. I think that one year you did like five, I think. 4 or 5 in one run.
It was 4. I did 3 and I was 3 and 16 and 4 in 2017, something like that. And it's funny, the reason I did 4, and I'll be honest with you, Change, that was the year Lee won the freestyle, if I'm not right. He went out
Mhm.
before me and did that, and I said, well, what the heck are you going to do to beat that? I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a bunch of backflips and see what happens.
Yeah, that front flip though, that was impressive.
Once in a lifetime.
Grab it out.
Once in a lifetime. You can't plan that, brother. Once in a lifetime. And that was one of the coolest things. And to this day, they still show that.
Right. Yeah. So, when I remember, when I first started, you had George. Hey, what's up, George? And you always named it. You always said the truck's ready, and George always said it's backflip ready. Because he was with you.
He was with me for a while. But the one thing with Hot Wheels as a sponsor, that the backflip had to be in my freestyle. That was part of it. It had to be in freestyle. If I didn't do it, they'd be like, "Why didn't you do it?" So I always made sure I did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the cool thing is also the look of the truck. I think you had one of the most unique trucks out of the whole Monster Jam monster truck industry. And once again, it was pretty cool to have. It was kind of, I always say, with you and Hot Wheels, it was kind of one of the last driver matches truck identity. If the truck was there, you're gonna have Scott Buetow. I mean, it's not gonna be which Hot Wheels is this one? Oh, this is the third or fourth or the fifth Hot Wheels, and you're over in Houston, and they have another Hot Wheels in Pittsburgh. Now, if the Hot Wheels is in Pittsburgh, that's you. So
yeah, no, I appreciate that, man.
How did you feel about that?
It was great. I made that my own, and I love Hot Wheels and everybody at Mattel, and even to this day, I'm close with some of the people there, and the Hot Wheels Monster Truck Live now is another up and coming motorsport promotion, so it's great, and I made it my own, and to have Hot Wheels on the side of your truck is nothing but a dream come true and a blessing, because who would think as a kid growing up playing Hot Wheels, one day you'd be driving the Hot Wheels truck? So I owe everything to them, and I consider them, a lot of people at Mattel, family. And every year I'd go to Mattel and we do a display there before the Anaheim show, and we'd go inside of Mattel. They'd show me around. Me have an engineering background. They show me the engineering side, the prototype machines, the SLS machines or whatever, because that's my love, is engineering. So, and I designed linear combustion motors for Pazzo. I don't know if you knew that, but so my background is engineering and motors and all this other stuff. So going into Mattel and seeing how they do things, and man, it's just the people there are absolutely awesome. And I love what they're doing now with Hot Wheels Monster Truck Live. It's cool. They're bringing back that old school mentality. They're starting small, crawl, walk, run type of thing. And it's just awesome to see it. And I love everything about Hot Wheels, and I made it my own. And again, they were like family. They would send me stuff. They would take care of me. And that's the one thing I would say. They're one of the greatest sponsors ever of Monster Jam.
So how did Oh, sorry, Cheech.
Find it right now. It's okay. Scott hooked me up with a T-shirt when we did the Mattel display. And it's a black
Which
T-shirt,
one?
it's black T-shirt. I have a million of them, but it has
is that the 50th anniversary. Well, hold on.
No, this was in 2015. This is the one that had the Curse of Hot Wheels on it, and then on the back it said it's in 1968.
Oh, I know which one that was. I was just wearing this one earlier today. That's the one I had on earlier. So I still represent Hot Wheels, man. But like I said, they're family to me, man. It's funny. As my wife, you go inside my closet, it's all basically black T-shirts usually. And she goes, "Well, which Hot Wheels one do you want to wear today?"
Hey, I understand the whole black T-shirt thing. I always wear a black T-shirt. I love how this one has my last name on it and everything too.
It's slimming.
Oh yeah, hey, I got to support Brian Shaw. So actually, one of the coolest dudes that's on the internet that I've watched. But so being with Hot Wheels, how did the other Hot Wheels 68 body come along? Because that was one of my favorite kind of bodies ever.
1968 was obviously the first Hot Wheel ever made, and they wanted to bring back the retro. They actually tried to bring that back boy, 16, maybe 17. Those designs were sketched up, and it just, so the deal with Hot Wheels, what they wanted to do, they wanted to have a new body at the World Finals every year, right? That's why we always debuted a new body. But what they originally wanted to do was have new bodies at every show. This week I'd be driving this. Next week I'd drive this. Next week I'd drive this. Because that's what a Hot Wheel is. Hot Wheel never changes. Hot Wheels changes all the time. They keep releasing new product, right? So they want to do the same thing with the trucks, but Monster Jam wouldn't let them, and I get that because of finances and everything else. So they always debuted a new one at the World Finals. So with the 1968 one was bringing back the 50th anniversary. And that's what that was, the 50th anniversary, the debut. And they knew that was the last year they were going to have a truck in Monster Jam too. So they brought back that old retro, the blue, because it was a blue Camaro, the first one ever made. So they brought that whole thing back, a retro type of truck. But those sketches were done for about a year or two. And I saw those way back when. They had 3 different versions of them. But I don't know if you remember, that year, I actually drove 3 different Hot Wheels truck in 2000. And was it 19? I think it was the last year for Hot Wheels in Monster Jam, or 18? 18, 50 years. So it was the 50th anniversary in 18. I started off with, I don't know if you remember, it was that the red, the blue, and the gold, and the glow. No, that was the year before. That was the World Finals. It was the red, blue, and the gold. I drove it for 8 weeks only, and then we debuted the blue one. But then I had the yellow one too that year, but I drove 3 that whole year. But that's one of my favorite trucks that no one, everybody forgets about. It was only existed for 8 weeks. It was blue on one side, red on the other side, had the gold stripe down the middle, had the 68 on the hood, 68 on the door, and it said the world class, Hot Wheels, Buetow, all that stuff on the side.
Oh, okay. I remember the slime one too. So when they debuted the slime one, go ahead.
That was 17, I believe, was the green with it, like the one that had all the 90s colors.
Mm-hmm. And chromed. It was that the chrome type finish to it too, also. So when you debuted that in 17, is that when the ball started rolling of, okay, we'll start making a different look for the Hot Wheels truck? Because for the longest time, it was that yellow blue truck.
6 years. Yeah, it was like 6 years, but Hot Wheels always wanted to change. They kept trying to push Monster Jam to change the truck, change it up, try something different. But they didn't get that opportunity at the time. So they finally got it. Look, let's got it. And then it finally worked out. Okay, we'll just change it at the World Finals every single year. And then the last year we did it 3 different times. But that was a cool thing I loved about Hot Wheels, because I'm the same way, man. Why keep something staying the same? I like change. I like changing things all the time, and changing the truck up. My favorite, there it is, dude. That's it. That's the one, man. That's one of my favorite designs that kind of no one talks about. In the pictures do it no justice. In person, I got that tailgate in my workout room in my basement. I made sure I took that tail. I actually have a tailgate of every single Hot Wheels truck made, except for that damn slime one. I wish I had that one. I don't have that. Dustin Brown owes me that. So if you ever talk to Dustin Brown, and I'm sure he'll get this message, tell him he was supposed to send me the tailgate and never did.
I actually just got a comment on that post by Paul Edude. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. He's done some stuff with Monster Jam as a technician. He says, I hated the teeth.
he hated it?
Yeah, it says.
I loved it.
I hated the teeth.
I loved the whole that was a mean aggressive design. But yeah, no, it's like I said, the only one I'm missing is that year with the chrome and everything. I'm missing that one.
Yeah. So but the cool thing also with you in the Hot Wheels truck, you also, not in the United States, you went internationally. Like Australia and South America, Europe.
Japan.
Just Japan. You brought the name out to the world, not just even though Hot Wheels itself is a global, Mattel in general is a global icon. If you can't not say toy without Mattel, but now you have a worldwide fan base now that's following you with that truck and you. the vibe that you got internationally with that truck got to be freaking awesome.
It was, and I did a lot of good things over in Australia. In fact, I still have the Guinness Book of World Records for the most freestyle wins in a row, and I broke that in Australia. And I have a little plaque from the Guinness Book of World Record. I didn't even know I had that until a couple of years ago, and they sent me one. But that was in Australia when I did that, and I went on a good little tear there. I think it was like 8 in a row or something like that for stadium freestyles.
See, one idea that I wish that they were able to do back when, they had the Hot Wheels sponsorship is a whole snake and mongoose thing. I would have like, it combines my two passions, drag racing and monster trucks. That would have been one of the perfect opportunities.
All right. I'll keep that in mind when I talk to him.
The cool thing.
It's funny even talk about that, how, I said it at Hot Wheels when they were with Moss-Jam, always wanted to change the bodies, always want to change designs, and we did that in the World Finals. But if you look at what Hot Wheels Monster Truck Live is doing now, they have 5 Hot Wheel trucks there, right? It's 5 it's 5 of their design. They have, they have the Bone Shaker, they have all their trucks there that were, the V8 Bomber, they have, stuff like that, and then they have Bigfoot as well too. But that's what's cool what Hot Wheels is doing now. They're doing what they wanted to do all along back then.
Yeah.
It's did they ever do you know if they ever threw the pitch Monster Jam of like saying 1 week you're going to be like one of their like skull crusher or the bone shaker.
Yeah.
And then one week you were going to be another Hot Wheels original truck, or was that the brainstorm that they wanted to do?
They did. They had like 3 or 4 different concepts where it would be this car this week. It was a car body, and that's what ended up being in the last year. But it was this car body this week, then it was this color this week, then it was this one this week. They wanted to continue to rotate out to keep it fresh for the year. And I love that idea with Hot Wheels, because as a kid, you always played with different Hot Wheels, man. So why not keep it fresh every single week? And the cool thing about that, I always got a new fire suit and new helmet too. That was one of the bonuses. I tell you, man, I did. And everybody gets so pissed off at me because the one year I had 3 different fire suits. I had 3 different trucks that year. And like, oh, you got another. Oh, Scott gets another fire suit. Oh, Scott gets another helmet. Yeah, man, it's having the greatest sponsor there is. That's why.
So
the advantage is having a great sponsor.
So, the Hot Wheels sponsorship ends and you move into, the El Toro Loco family with El Toro Loco Ice. How did that come about? Because, they were entering the partnership with Spin Master. And did you know about the ice versus fire concept months in advance, or was that kind of like a thing that was sprung on you?
No. So the whole fire and ice thing, it was trying to go back and remember all this now. So my contract was ending. I shouldn't say my contract. Hot Wheels contract was ending, and I was on a multi-year deal, my contract. And so I got a call mid-year saying, Hot Wheels Hot Wheels called me and told me. Monster Jam didn't tell me. Hot Wheels called me. It says, hey, look, this is what's happening. You'll find out soon. So then I finally get a call from people at Monster Jam telling me a few days later that I was actually going to a show, and I got a call saying, Hot Wheels is going to be ending, yada, yada. And I said, okay, I already know that because they called me first. So it was like June or July. I knew at the end of the year they were going to end. Maybe had one more year. I can't remember what it was. But anyways, I was on a multi-year deal. So I was still under contract. And they were doing some fire and ice designs. I think Dragon was the first one. But they're pitching this idea. But they end up, originally, they sent me a picture of Dragon. I thought that's what I was going to do driving. But when they announced it was a Toro Loco Ice. So then Zimmer got into the Dragon one. But they pitched the idea a few months before Hot Wheels ended with them. And I knew September, October, I would be driving El Toro Loco Ice the next year, but I was still in Hot Wheels because I still had a couple shows left. I had Minneapolis to do still at the end of the year. So I was preparing to end the ride with the Hot Wheels, knowing that I was going into El Toro Loco Ice. And I tell you, the one thing I liked about that, I'm glad I didn't drive El Toro Loco, and this is selfishly why, because there was already, 8 different drivers for El Toro Loco. And so I wanted to at least have my own image. And having El Toro Loco Ice, I was able to still carry on my image, my personality, and at least try to make it something that I could call my own. And it worked for me, So, in fact, I had one of my best years ever in 2019 with El Toro Loco Ice. So, I mean, it just was one of those things that just another opportunity, and either you can go into it with an attitude or you could embrace it. And I embraced it. And made it my own.
Yeah, that was pretty cool because, I mean, when me and Mark did that summer tour with you and you hung out with us at that Chili's or Applebee's or whatever that place is, we talked about it and stuff like that. And it was a pretty cool ordeal. And I am going to switch gears here. And I know that you are a huge Washington football fan.
Yeah,
and I know Brad's going to be.
I'm a huge Redskins fan.
I'm just going to sit this one out.
You can sit it out, dude.
Yeah.
I've been a Redskins fan my whole life, man. I'm not going to deny that. And it was gut wrenching when they pulled the name from them, because growing up a Redskins fan, I'll keep saying it. I was a Redskins fan. I don't remember really is. But when they changed to the Washington football team now, it took me a while to. It was just because go in my basement. My whole basement is Redskins, memorabilia everywhere. Signed autographs, signed helmets, signed this. My first dog was named Gibbs. My second dog was named Champ Bailey. So I was gut wrenching when they pull your name. Something you people are like, oh, what's the big deal? It was a big deal, dude. So, but it took me a while this year to really embrace it. Not that I embraced it. I still love the team. They ended it very well. They had Alex Smith, greatest comeback story ever. And the guy should have lost his leg 3 different times, 17 different surgeries over 2 years to see what he go through, and then bring him back in and go 5-1 as a starter and make the playoffs, win a division. Yeah, they were 7-9, but look what the obstacles that the team did this year, from problems with ownership. Ron Rivera, brand new coach, getting cancer, beating cancer. Alex Smith coming back, 17 surgeries, almost losing the leg. Haskins, having a problem with Haskins. And what they did, and they still won their division. Yes, it was a crap division, but they still won their division and got into the playoffs. So it was cool. They had a chance. If they could have stopped Brady, they had a chance. But it was cool.
They had a good run at the end.
At the end, they had a great run. They figured it out, man. They came together as a team. And I love my Washington football team. I really do.
How about that?
I said I would never say that because I was so mad when they changed the name. Well, they really haven't changed the name yet. They're just called football team. But whatever name they embrace, I will embrace them with open arms. I should maybe hopefully my wife ain't listening to this, but I will buy memorabilia with WFT. I always want to say the other one. But WFT on it, Washington football team, not WTF. But yeah, man, it was a crazy year, man. Tell me a crazy year. Think about what happened in 2020. What a crazy year.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Totally. Like, you also got a diamond in the rough with that Ohio State defensive player. What a
Chase Young? Oh, dude, he's a beast, man. What a beast. The whole front line. There's all 4 of those are number 1 picks, from Payne to Sweat, Chase Young. All those guys are number 1 picks or front line. So they're doing some great things. Hopefully they'll add to the defense this year and find a franchise quarterback. Those are the things they need. But other than that, they are making great strides.
So do you think Alex Smith will still be there for the long run, or he seems like
man, I don't know. I don't know because he's had a calf injury on that leg that he had surgery on. So is it something else? Is it just the muscle ain't responding to doing what he does? Because I don't see how he can play, and he was great when he's in. I mean, but I don't see how he can. I hope he does. That's a great story. I hope they keep him. I hope they could, if anything, he could be a backup. He could start. He could mentor a kid. He could do whatever. I will never say someone should or shouldn't do or someone should retire because that's up to the own individual. When yourself when you want to walk away from something like that. And that's the same thing that people talk about in our sport. When do we walk away? When do people retire? When should Tom Meents retire? Why should he retire? He's at the top of his game. When people say, "Oh, he's over 50," so what? I mean, Alex Smith. Look at what Brady's doing. Look what Drew Brees is doing. Age is a number if you take care of yourself. Right? If you're top of your game, it's not for someone else to tell you when you should want to walk away or whatever. It's up to the individual. But I hope he comes back.
Right.
I hope, but they do need to find a franchise quarterback. So they need to find somebody young or pay somebody and trade for somebody. I don't know, but they need a quarterback.
Yeah, it'd be it's just a crazy year, like you said, this year. And there's a lot of things. The system right now. Who do you? I think right now for me, I think it's going to be the New Orleans Saints against the Kansas City Chiefs for the Super Bowl.
Really, I'm picking Green Bay, dude. I got Green Bay and Kansas City, and I'll tell you, I wouldn't bet against Rodgers, especially at Green Bay. New Orleans got to go to Green Bay, dude. So I don't think they're going to beat Green Bay. My best friend, who I've known since kindergarten, he's a Green Bay fan, and my dad's a Packer fan too. So for my dad, I'd want to see them win. I was pulling for Buffalo. I'd like to see them do well in the AFC as a Cinderella story. Because I like Josh Allen, what he does. He's a big kid, but I would like to see Buffalo. But I don't see anybody beating the Chiefs, man.
No, I just think I was watching the Saints, and I know they're a playoff team, and they're always the momentum. You always consider them a playoff team. Same thing with the LA Rams, but I know they have to go to Green Bay.
Yeah, man, I don't like the Rams. They took Sean McVay from the Redskins. I'm sorry, the football team a couple of years ago. They took Sean McVay from them, so he was a great coordinator. I wish he would have been our head coach. But but I tell you what was freaking heart-wrenching and terrible to watch. One of the worst games I ever saw was that game the other night. They were losing like 28-0. What team was it? Oh, that was your team, Cheech. That was your Steelers getting freaking pummeled by the Browns, brother.
Yeah, the Browns are the Browns. Thanks, Juju, on that stuff. But you know what?
They cleaned the boys' clock, man.
Right. I even stated on Facebook about it, saying if the way they've been playing, then I wrote this down after they got beat by Buffalo. So that was prior to Washington, because Washington snapped on the streak.
Yeah.
The thing is, they were not on their heads, and if Pittsburgh doesn't change their ways in the next couple of years, they're going to be the fourth team in the AFC North. It's hard to say, but
Okay. So I love Tom. Coaching, you love Tomlin, right? Are you good with the coach? You think it's time?
I'm good with the coaching. I think I'm good with the coaching mentality, but he has that way of going, okay, the room in the Steelers locker room is still affected by AB and Bell leaving. And it's not helping the matter that when Tomlin has a hard time disciplining their players. And the way I always see how the Steelers take care of it is they eliminate the defensive coordinator or coaches, and then they have to get pushed to eliminate the players instead of disciplining them and trying a new route. I understand age is a number, but so does the body of Big Ben. Ben's showing his age. He's not how he can't play the background, the play yard type of football that he had done in the 2000s and 2010s. He can't run out of the pocket. He can't, I'm not saying he can. He can. Let me rephrase that. He can, but there's going to be a consequence if he does. And
we have two choices with that. You can either tailor your offense or get a new quarterback. And look what they did with Brady. Look what they did with Breeze. You either tailor an offense around you or a different direction. That's how to me, He's still got a good arm. He still hit all his reads. He can still hit any throw in NFL. So either you tailor your offense around what you have, or you change. You have to learn to change.
I don't know. The way I saw it at Sunday night's game, he threw more complete passes to the orange team than he did his own black and yellow team.
2 of those were deflected, right? 2 of the interceptions were deflections. I don't count that as a quarterback usually. If it bounces off a receiver hand going to into the defensive back's hand, that should be on the receiver, man. That shouldn't go as an INT for the quarterback. That sucks. But
so 2 out of 2. But they did have a good run towards. I mean, the second half was all Pittsburgh, but it happens inconsistently. It happened with the Washington, Buffalo, all their losses. The first half, they dug themselves too deep. They had to get themselves out. By the time they got themselves out, the game was pretty much over, and they put themselves in a hole. The only team that really they were successful in that type of way was Indianapolis. Well, I'll see the carousel football will go around, and we'll see how they do and play. I mean, their season this year was a hell of a lot better than last year, but a lot of teams can say that, especially Cleveland. But
that's for sure.
It's it is what it is. Can't cry over spilled milk. There's always next year. So,
that's right.
But I mean, everyone sees in paper right now that, like you said, no one can right now touch Kansas City, and it's gonna be hard to beat them.
That's what I think.
PFC, because you have to go to Kansas City to verse them. Then I'm still leaning towards New Orleans, but everyone has to go to Green Bay. Green Bay isn't Miami, Florida, so it's
right.
It's prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Well, we'll see how it goes, but go with the Jaffs and picks and stuff like that. So, but I mean that division definitely for. But if right now I have to say if the Steelers don't change their ways, and I don't think the thing is this is I think they should keep the offensive coordinator. I think the defensive coordinator should be kept. I think the downfall with the defense was they got a lot of injuries. Bush was out. Bud Dupree, the other pass rusher, was out. So a lot of the offensive people could focus on TJ Watt instead of Bud and TJ on the bull rushes and the rushes himself, because in the first couple of games that you saw when the Steelers played in the beginning of the year, no one could stop the bull rush coming from the outside and the quarterback. And they lost some players. Don't get me wrong. And also, people may also forget that I think Pittsburgh was one of the only teams that didn't have a bye. They didn't have a bye week because of all the COVID stuff going on. And they considered the bye week was the last week of the season. And, they can use that excuse whatsoever, but they could have just ended the hopes of the team that spanked their butts Sunday. They could have just took them out and then focus on what was going on, but they didn't. And I'll say it is what it is, because maybe in the situation I'm not part of. Yeah, right. I'm not the coach staff. I'm not the ownership. I'm just a fan of it, and it is what it is. But we have later this year, so hopefully the ball gets rolling. They'll have the Hall of Fame game back. Those inductees that were in the Hall of Fame, hopefully they get the proper engagement that they have, and just start. Right now, hopefully the players can take a break from what's going on, play some 9 holes of golf, and go from there.
Exactly.
Right. So you talked about being an engineer, and talk about that a little bit, because I don't think a lot of people understand that, that's what your background was, and that's how, the love that you have, I mean, is in the world of engineering.
Yeah, I've been doing engineering for almost about 30 years now, and I oversee all the engineering, design, and manufacturing for a company that I'm also doing operations for it's called Magic of Lights. I do all the design for them and everything, but I have 12 United States patents. I was with a company called Illinois Tool Works who owned Passload, the cordless nail gun division. That I don't know if you know what the cordless nail guns. They don't run on fuel. I'm sorry, they don't run on battery. They run on fuel. I was with them for 17 years in the fuel division, and they were it's a nail gun that runs on fuel. It runs just like a car. It's a single linear combustion motor, and it runs on fuel, which has a fuel cannon, a little fuel canister, we get 1,200 shots out of it, and a battery for spark, like it does for any other motor. But if you how it works, it's a small handheld nail gun, and it's a linear combustion motor, which has a piston with a driver blade on there, which shears the nail off, and then it uses vacuum when you close the chamber to come back up. But I'm probably boring you guys with all this dorky, geeky stuff that I talk, but I had 12 patents with them. I have a patent pending for the new company that I do stuff for, and I oversee it for them. But my background has always been with engineering, design, and manufacturing. So I have a lot of things going on with that too, and that helps. And that's the one thing, it's unfortunate what happened with everybody in 2020 with COVID. And I feel, my heart goes out to all the family and friends that the people out there who were, hit with this, and a lot of people lost a lot of things, and a lot of people went through depressions and stuff like that. I know I'm rambling here, but I'm glad to see things are making a turn, I hope, for a lot of people, and how you deal with things. Really, it's rough. A lot of people lost things. A lot of people gained from this. I was fortunate to have different forms of financial income and different forms of occupation to help me out through this, because I know a lot of people just had one thing going, and when you lose that, you kind of spiral and what to do. But I've been fortunate and blessed with it, and I've like I said, I've always tried to open different doors and have different opportunities. And I tell it to anybody, I tell it to my kids, just always be thinking about different things to do, and always have 3 or 4 things going on in your life at all times, because you never know when one thing can be swept away from you and taken from you. But yeah, no. So getting back on the engineering side, I've been doing that for 30 years, man. So, or going on 30 years or whatever the heck it is. It's been a long damn time, but that's my love. It's my life. It's all engineering. And I pull the computer all the time and start drawing, designing things. So.
Did you ever had a time where you took a look at a monster truck and you said, maybe I could change this, or maybe there's a different? Did you ever took time? I'm just curious if you ever, you looked at your truck and said, "What did?"
Not so much a monster truck of how it's designed. I would say parts on the truck that how they are designed. Yes, I do that all the time. I do that all the time when I see a weld break. And I don't really say anything, because I'm not the expert at it, nor I ever try to overstep my boundaries with people who are doing fabrication and stuff like that. I don't do that. But yeah, I'll take a look at something and see how something's designed, or how housing is, and say, I wonder why they didn't put something here or a weld over here. Sure, I do that, but I don't overstep my boundaries within the industry or say anything. I've done a lot of track designs for people. I've done track designs for different things, but I've done a lot of stuff in my background. I've worked for a lot of different companies over my time. I own my own company as an independent contractor. I also do engineering and design, solid modeling for other companies. So I do that independently as well. But yeah, I looked at things on the truck and said I would have done it differently. But that's not saying I know what I'm doing. It's just someone will weld something one way, and another person will weld something. You're like, oof, look at that. But yeah, man, it's my human nature. When I look at something, and I always pick something up and touch it and feel it and see how it's made. That's the first thing I do, is see how something is made.
So I know you guys talked a little bit about football, but I want to kind of switch gears a little bit into other motorsports. Are you a fan of like drag racing, NASCAR, Formula One? What kind of do you watch in your spare time?
I like Supercross, and that was I grew up racing, riding bikes, and stuff. And I sold 5 motocross bikes a year and a half ago. My kids have always been around it since my kids could walk. I bought him a PW50. Like my daughter, who's 25 now, I bought her when she was 4 a PW50 with training wheels on it, man. So my life has always been around 2 wheels. So that's what I love. I love motorcycles. But I just sold 5 bikes a year and a half ago. I got rid of them all.
What do you think of this upcoming, Supercar season? There's been a lot of switch ups. Geico Honda's no more. A lot of those guys have gone over to the Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha. You got Justin Barsha on the new TLD gas bike, getting away from,
gas. Damon Briscoe too. But no, man, it's different now, and who knows what kind of season they're going to have. Supercross can get away with it, other than what Monster Jam, because they're more sponsor driven, so that at least they can still have shows even without fans in the crowd. So thank goodness for that. It's exciting to watch. I'm more sad. I'm still hanging on to the guys, Chad Reed and stuff like that, where everybody's disappearing. They're gone. They're disappearing, and it sucks because when you can, it's like when you're a fan of a quarterback, he ends up leaving, or you're a fan of this NASCAR driver, he ends up leaving. But it's hard to get attached. At least it is for me now. I was always attached to Wyndham, Reed, guys like that. Kevin Wyndham, he's a mudslinger, man.
Oh, my God.
Let me tell you, he's the most consistent rider ever in Supercross, my opinion. Most consistent. But if it ever rained, I guarantee he's going to freaking hit that podium if it ever rained. He's always on a podium when it rained. He's a mudslinger.
That was Chad Reed, too.
I loved Kevin Wyndham's intro, how he did that long jump across basically the whole track. The transfer. Yeah. Well, he did one long jump that was wicked. It was cool, And
he was my favorite. My kids loved Chad Reed. In fact, my one son Brock, we had a Yamaha. What did I have? It was a TTR 50. It was a Chad Reed edition. I don't remember what that was, but it was a Chad Reed imitation bike that he had. And he had the Chad Reed on the bar and stuff. The plates all said Reed on it, but that was his favorite. But it's hard to find someone who you can fall in love with, per se, in motorsports and want to stay with that person, because it just, at least for me, it doesn't seem like they have the thing you hold on to. Like Wyndham, you were a fan, you're a huge fan of him, but who's that guy now? I don't know. Buetow was at one time, but who's now the up and coming person where you're going to cling on, to? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Like for me, with my fandom of drag racing, I've always been attached to John Force ever since I was a little kid. He's the king, and once he retires, who am I going to cheer for? It's that same kind of thing.
Yeah, man, it's tough. And that's why I go back to football. I always say, never buy the Super Bowl. A Washington football team fan. I never bought the jersey of the quarterback because they always got rid of him, man. I have a closet full of quarterbacks of the Washington football team that you can't even believe, man. I ain't kidding you, man. That's like Kirk Cousins, greatest quarterback, to get rid of him. Are you kidding me?
Hey, and there's that drag racing.
That's the same thing with me with the Pittsburgh Pirates, because the Pittsburgh Pirates, I never get a Pittsburgh Pirates uniform with the player on the back of it. All I have is the baseball jersey. There's nothing on the back of it, because I know for a fact if the Pirates are gonna,
not even a number.
No, it just says the Pirates on it. It's their spring training uniforms that I normally get. Just because I know if they're really good, they're gonna trade that player for some prospect. So it's frustrating. Like Eli Tomac, I've been following. I think he's a good rider. I was a Ryan Dungey fan.
I think that the next racer that's going to be in Supercross, especially that's going to be able to get to that next step, I think is Adam Cincerillo. I think he has personality and he's going to be consistent. I think he's going to be able to be somebody and then to watch this season and the seasons upcoming. He proved himself in the mini bikes and in the 250 class, and I think this year he's going to do stuff like even Ken Roczen. You can't count out Ken Roczen because Roczen will come up and get you if he doesn't wreck.
Yeah, like Bubba used to do all the time. Bubba would be always winning, but he would rock really friggin' bad, dude.
But there was not one race.
Yeah, but like I said, but like watching stuff, I don't watch anything really other than Netflix. My favorite thing is The Office, and he just pulled that off of Netflix. Dude, I was freaking pissed. That's all we watch. That's our go-to. So at home with the wife and the kids, stuff like that, it's like if nothing's on, we always put The Office on. Or if we're like going to eat, let's say we're going to eat, let's go downstairs and eat in front of the TV, whatever. So we have to have background noise, background music is The Office to us. Or it's like some people have a fan running at nighttime. That's The Office for us. I love that show, but they folded, man.
Parkour.
I'm sad.
But yeah, dude.
Like that show, and there was another one, Scrubs. That was another good show, like that, very similar to that kind of comedic timing that you need to have in a show like that.
Yeah, man, it sucked. I tell you a good show. I just got done watching. It was Mandalorian. You guys watch that?
Not yet.
I don't know if you guys are Star Wars fans or not, but that ended phenomenal ending to season 2. I won't say what it is, but phenomenal ending.
You know what? I'm because of this recommendation, I'm gonna watch it. The one series last year.
I'm a Star Wars fan. I didn't like the new stuff that they done lately. That was stupid. They didn't do the stuff right. Like the original Star Wars, 4, 5, and 6 good. 1 sucked. 2 was good. 3 was great, and all this other crap they had in between sucked the last 10 years. But what they did, this takes place 5 years after Return. It takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and they did everything right. I'm telling you, it was friggin' off the wall. The last 3 of Mandalorian season 2 will blow your friggin' mind, dude. Awesome.
Another series that you guys should check out is called Ratched on Netflix. Me and my ex-girlfriend watched it. We binged it in one day. It's such like a psychological thriller, and
really?
it's Ratched, Ratched. It's based on the kind of the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson. It's based off of that. It throws you for a loop every episode. It's like, what the heck is going to happen next? It's a phenomenal show. Like that, and then everybody's probably already seen Tiger King.
Well, who didn't watch Tiger King for entertainment? Talk about a nutso, man! My goodness sake, yeah, we watched that when that was the start of COVID, man. That was March, I think it came out. Everybody, right? Yeah. Wasn't it? That was the whole start of COVID. If you're not watching Tiger King, something's wrong with it. But yeah, man, that started it.
For me, it was I'm binging right now the movie, the show called Peaky Blinders.
Dude, I started watching that. I started watching it, and I just couldn't get past the accents, man. I couldn't. And I'll tell you a funny story. It took me and Melissa, we couldn't watch Game of Thrones for the longest time. We'd watch like the first 3 episodes, turn it off. I'm like, what the hell are they saying? We watched the first like 2 or 3 seasons with the captions on, man. And it helped because it ended up being a good series. But it pissed me off. And maybe it's because I can't friggin' hear because driving a truck for the last 12 years. But I'm like, what the hell are they saying here? And I'd like stare at the TV like, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to read their freaking mouth. I can't understand what he's saying. They start doing a friggin' accent, man. So then I put the captions on and it helped me.
See, the other series that I binged all the seasons recently is Roadkill. I've gone through every single episode again because just like I had to watch it again.
Huh.
I think that's on Motor Trend
on Demand. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
never heard of it.
What? You've never heard of Roadkill?
No. I don't watch TV, dude. All I watch is Office.
It's on the Motor Trend app. So you got David Freiberger and Mike Finnegan, who used to work with Hot Rod Magazine, and they've built like Stubby Bob, for instance. It's an old Ford dump truck that they shortened, put a blown 454 in the back of it with a V drive, and they can do wheelies with it.
And they made a series out of this?
Oh yeah, every episode is different. Like the last episode I just watched, they had this old airport car, like 6-door long airport car, and just road trip it. Like that, it's ridiculous what they'll do.
See, I'll have to watch that on the road. I won't be able to watch it at home because Melissa won't put up with that. She'll hate it. And then I'll get in trouble for what we call TV cheating. So if I watch something on a plane and don't tell her, I'm cheating on her. She says I'm TV cheating. So that's the story of my life there.
That's why I've been following that. And then I was watching the Witch Hunter movie that they had during Netflix.
Dude, I know. I know what you're talking about. The guy who played Superman.
Yeah, I follow that.
It's good. It ended really pretty good. It was confusing at first. They had 2 seasons of it. It was really good, and then it all came full circle at the end.
Mm-hmm. They did like 4 or 5 episodes, and they took a break. The Witcher. That's it.
Yep.
I was watching that for a while.
Yep.
See, the only reason why I know the name is because there was that toss your coin to the Witcher or something. That's all I know.
Yeah, that was good. I liked that one. It ended good.
And then I've been watching a lot of I did get the Apple studio thing too, just because I want to watch the movie Greyhound with Tom Hanks in it. And it's a movie about him and his crew and a destroyer, and he's the only one in the water, and he's taking on like 3 or 4 Nazi U-boats, Wolfpack boats, and just trying to survive. And I get into that. I get a lot of history. Like sometimes if I'm bored and like I'm cleaning the house, I'll just put on the AMC show Turn. Just because I'm into that. It's about the Washington spies of the Revolutionary War. I always thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I'll just, if I'm bored again, I'll just put on The Patriot or like Enemy of the Gates, or maybe put a season of Band of Brothers on. So I'm into that stuff. It's Saving Private Ryan and I always thought those were, I don't know. I'm always a history person, so that's what I try to look for, and that's what most of my Netflix is that reason. Sure. But I mean, it's some crazy stuff. So we got some fan love here. If you're ready for some of that,
let's do it.
I gotta go all the way. All right, we got a lot of Okay, let's see here. Good evening, everyone. A lot of good evenings. A lot of people are complimenting about your beard and hair.
Okay, cool.
Hey, I'm jealous of it because I really can't grow good facial. I
just shaved most of it, dude. It was down there pretty far, but my hair's long too. It's all one length down here now.
See, this is Levi.
It's called COVID hair. I haven't had a haircut in over a year, dude.
All right. Okay. Why is it being slow today? A lot of
it's not my internet. It was your internet all along, brother.
It probably is my internet all along. It's that Frontier stuff. Let's see here. Come on. Appear on the screen. Okay, you're not appearing on the screen.
Oh, it's on the screen now.
Is it?
Am I supposed to be able to read that, man? It's like tiny little text on there.
And, it's a question from Christopher Lane. It's asking, what has been your favorite truck to drive?
Well, obviously I'm going to say Hot Wheels, but specifically was the very last, the blue one, with the 68 on the side. That was, to me, was the cleanest looking and the baddest looking truck all Monster Jam, man. But I love that truck. I don't know if people know it. I drove Metal Militia one time in New Zealand. That was a cool truck drive. I love the style of that truck too. But without a doubt, was the last Hot Wheels was that one.
So talk about with your engineering. Josh Rhodes mentioned. Let's see here. He said, with your engineering background, what's one thing that you like to see engineered specifically for a monster truck?
I would say inside the cockpit more. You know how we're doing the seat pours now with the seats, the ISP seats. A lot of fans might not know this, but the seats are custom made to your individual body, and they do a thing now where they pour into the back of the seat, a seat pour, and it matches your spine and your tailbone and all that. So I would say more engineering into the driver safety side of it and the driver comfort, because you get, when you're in that truck, you get beat up a lot. So if it could form, if the seat could even form more to the driver, it'd be less fatigue on a driver. So I would say more engineering into driver safety. But what they do now is phenomenal. What we do with what we wear, the Hans devices, the 5-point, 7-point type of belts, the ISP seats. But to continue doing engineering into driver safety is where I would like to see it evolving more, because the trucks itself are holding up. The housings are beefier. The suspensions are great in them now. So if I would say anything to spend a lot of time and effort is into driver safety a little more.
That question was Josh Rhodes. What's going on, Josh? I got another one here. I guess his YouTube name is Very Tired 1111, and he said, have any good Houston memories? He said he met you several times over the years at Energy Stadium, and he said thank you for all your contributions in the monster truck industry. You have any Houston memories?
Don't worry about that. No, man, I love Houston. I've had some great shows, and the fans are off the hook. We do so many shows there a year, but I have lots of memories at Houston. It was El Toro 2 years ago. I did a backflip, landed on the back rear, and at the right time, I hit reverse, and I drove backwards in reverse without flipping over. And finally, it went back down. I drove way out of it. But I have lots of memories of Houston, man. It's a great stadium to be at, but I absolutely love it. Love everything about the stadium. Love about the fans down there. I like staying down there. I like eating down there. But yeah, I have tons of memories of Houston. It's one of my favorite places.
We got one, Mr. Nathan Smith. He said, I just wanted to say, Scott, thank you for talking with me on your way back from your lunch at World Finals 18. As well as taking time to sign the merch I had before heading back into the Hot Wheels zone. So there was some love right there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. Going on the World Finals in the Hot Wheels zone, that was the one thing really cool that Hot Wheels did. We had the whole Hot Wheels zone, and it almost took care of itself. It wasn't like signing autographs, because the whole zone, the kids were playing in there with the cars, parents would be there. So that was one of my favorite places to be, just because of the Hot Wheels zone. So I appreciate everybody, man, what they've done.
We have a couple of questions here, but that they kind of, you already answered them. I'm entering the football zone. Everyone's making fun of me. Let's see here.
I got a quick question here.
Sure, go ahead.
What's your favorite independent teams and drivers that you've gotten to run with? Like, like the Jim Kohlers. Like, who are some of your favorite independents?
You just said one right there, Kohler. I love that. He's a great dude. I love his how he carries himself on and off the track. Shaker team, obviously. There's a lot of them out there. The Vodders, Mikey's another very sweet dude. In fact, it's funny. My rookie year, senior said to me, he's the one that pulled me to the side. He said, a couple people harass you or something, or some people would give you crap the way you drove or something. It wasn't, being a rookie wasn't fun, dude. But I remember senior pulled me to the side and just told me, you just do you. Don't listen to anything what he's saying, and just continue to keep getting better in that truck. So he wasn't one of the first person that pulled me to the side. So I do remember that with Mike Senior.
Let's see here. Got one from Darius Royer. He said, were there any challenges you had as a driver that were difficult to overcome? And if so, what did you do to accomplish it?
I would say as a driver itself, seat time makes you better, obviously. And when I started, we didn't have Monster Jam University. You didn't get to practice. That wasn't a thing, man. You didn't get to go to Tom's backyard and have fun and practice for 3 days, get more seat time. So overcoming just the fact of just getting in the truck was hard enough, and then dealing with I would say your rookie season and people, and it just and finding your way. That's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing in life, especially for younger kids today. And you hear about it all the time. Kids in school, kids just the peer pressure and stuff. But I always I can tell my kids, just be you, be real yourself. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter trying to impress other people and trying to be somebody you're not isn't going to get you anywhere. It's being you, being real yourself, and always looking for opportunities. But like I said, that's I'll beat this to a dead horse, and I can talk about it all day. It's just being real to yourself and knowing who you are. Don't try to be somebody else. Or like when I first started Monster Jam, people tried to keep me my enthusiasm. I'm a very hyper person. I am. I'm always wired. You guys know this. I'm always talking fast and just who I am. They're always like, okay, you need to calm down. You can't yell as much. You can't talk like this way. And I'm like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't be that person. This is who I am. This is my attitude. It's raw energy. And that's how I don't know any other way of doing it. But when I first started, they tried to kind of like how you always say stifle your creativity. They try to stifle you and try to put you in a box, try to create something that you weren't. But then they figure out, okay, let this guy go. And they did. And that was the best thing for me, is having people understand who I am. Just being real to yourself.
So like you released the news in December that you weren't going to renew your contract with Monster Jam. And so what are you mostly focusing on your engineering projects right now, and what you've been doing in 2020?
So I had a contract just like everybody does. I had other multi-year deals, but this last year, 2020, I had a single-year contract. And my plan was to continue to drive Monster Jam as long as they would let me. But obviously, COVID hit. People make, decisions. The Feld made a decision to was it 2,000 people they terminated in 2000. And I was still under contract, same with other drivers to the end of 2020. So that was March. So I still had 9 months left. They didn't know what was going to happen. No one did. No one knew this could last 2 weeks flat in a curve or 2 years. No one knew. No one knows. Still, they don't know. But my biggest thing is I like stuff that's tangible. I like opportunities in front of me that are tangible. I don't like something dangled in front of you. I don't like something that you don't know, the unknown, especially in my life. Like everybody has a different life. I have kids. I have a family. I have this and that. So I have to take care of myself. I have, between my wife and I, we have like we had six forms of income. So I always have my hand in something. I'm always having different opportunities. I'm always looking for that next opportunity. So when COVID hit, I didn't even miss a beat. I just kept moving forward with the tangible. And so and I still want to drive. I still want to do things. And I focused on what was tangible, what was in front of me. And that opened up even more doors. And then, a few months ago, some more doors opened up for what I'm doing. And then there's a lot of things that I'm moving, a lot of moving parts that's going on. And I do have opportunity to continue to do, to drive and to do other things. I can't really talk about all of that right now, but there's opportunities out there. But the problem is you don't know what's going to be. When can you fill a stadium? When can you fill an arena? We don't know. Live entertainment is dead right now. Right? Unless it's COVID friendly, it's dead. So to sit here and try to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, it's not tangible, man. And I tell people all the time, focus on what you control. If you don't control it, there's a problem. So your job, you work for somebody, they sweep the rug out from you. You're out. You don't control that. Focus on what you have and try to be the best you can with that. But always look for other opportunities. Like, Cheech, this isn't what you do, and you're doing this, right? You two guys, you're doing a producing here. This isn't what you guys did for a living, but you're focusing on other things. This could open up another door for you two. You don't know that, right? So always look for other opportunities in life and go with what's tangible. Please, if you can do anything, go with what's tangible, what's in front of you. Don't listen to people when they say, well, you might get this, or oh, you keep doing this, I might get you that. That's not tangible, man. That could be an opportunity. But so that's what I did with 2020. I took advantage of what was real, what was tangible. And man, did it open up lots of doors. So I'm excited about 2021. I'm excited about the progress they're making with, the vaccine and stuff. I hope all motorsports comes back and live entertainment, because it wasn't just so much the people, the drivers, the talent. Look at all the people who work on a football field, work at a baseball field, who work out in the stands, who work at the concessions, work in the lighting, the rigging, with concerts, staging. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, have lost their jobs because of this pandemic. So I'm focused on what's real in front of me. I'm going to continue to drive if the opportunity arises, which I think it will. I have plans, but I'm right now focused on what's in front of me.
And that's and I'm taking a lot from this. Like, honestly, like a lot of the stuff I've needed to hear because of, the situation that I've been placed in with my job and everything. It's like, focus on, like I said, focus on the tangible, focus. Like, that's what I need to do. And like, I didn't think I'd get a motivational speech on this, but here I am.
Let me tell you what, you were talking earlier before I came on about that you're going to do a podcast next month or whatever you think it is about the depression stuff. And I would love to talk, but I'd love to be on that for you, because that's one thing with my kids and stuff. And everybody goes through it. It hit me this year at different times, and it still does, man. My biggest thing has always been fitness. And this last year, I really took a dive. But I'm like, screw it, I'm going to eat, man. But it's how you take care of yourself, and you have to continue, because what defines your character is how you rise. You're going to be on your back more. You're going to be standing in life. You're going to be kicked and pushed around and thrown curveballs. But what defines your character is how you rise. Honestly. So rise every day and just do it. And it's practice what you preach, man. And there's times I go home and I'll sit on my ass and I'll just have a damn pizza and have some drinks, right? But then I'm like, why the hell did I do that? Why, instead of working out or doing something? But you have to focus on tangible stuff. Stop making goals that are unrealistic. Well, I want to make this. I want to do this. Well, I want to be an astronaut. Well, good damn luck. It ain't going to happen, okay? I hate to be and I'm very honest with my kids, man. I'm brutally honest with my kids. And if they ever came on, they would tell you. Brutally honest. Well, I want to do this. Well, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you that it's rainbows and unicorns, because it's not. The world will eat your ass up. So I'm very honest with my kids. I'm very honest with people. I don't sugarcoat things, and I wear my emotions on my sleeve. That's one thing you guys should know about me by now. I will tell you the damn truth. And if I can't tell you the truth, I'm going to tell you some reason why. But I wear my emotions on my sleeve. That's just who I am. But the one thing, man, is always rise. You're going to be kicked down more than you're going to be standing. So just get your ass up and rise and focus on tangible stuff. That was a big rant. Sorry.
All right. Hey, one thing I always learned about is it's not the fall that happens. It's how you pick yourself up and you keep on walking. That's I always feel that life has your ups and downs. It's always going to be like that. You're going to have your ups, and then you're going to have your downs, and then it's how you survive.
I'm going to tell you what I say to my kids, man. Life's a roller coaster, right? You have two choices on a roller coaster. You can close your eyes and scream like a little baby, or you can put your hands up and go for the ride, right? You have two choices when you take that roller coaster. And which one are you? Which one do you want to be? You want to close your damn eyes, or you want to put your hands up and have some fun?
Have some fun, man.
You think about it. That's what life's all about, is having fun. But you have to position yourself with people in your life and get rid of the negativity. And that's why I always say, have a really small circle. Don't try to be everybody's friends, because you're not going to be, and they're not your friends. Just because they say you're friends, they're not your friends. They're going to stab you in the back while talking to you. Is have a small circle, and you could have one or two people that will give the shirt off your back. Love that person forever, man. Because like I said, I have one or two people in my life. My buddy Grant, and I've known him since kindergarten. That's the one dude that I'd give the shirt off the back, give the shirt off back for me. And if you can hold on to that, man, God bless you. But just have fun in life, because life is short. Before you know it, it's friggin' gone, dude.
Well,
yeah,
Cheech,
buddy,
do you think it's time for those hard-hitting questions? Do you think it's time?
Well,
you got hard questions for me? I thought I answered them.
Yeah, I got no. Well, just to let everyone know, we eliminated one question. I eliminated last week. The eggnog questions no more. Just because.
Don't bring that memory up. Don't bring that memory up.
We had a thing said if you like eggnog or not, and it's been going on for a good few years. And to cap it off, Mr. Bradley Shaw drank a half gallon of eggnog within an hour, and
I don't like eggnog. I don't like eggnog. So if that's a question, I don't like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're done with that question. So we're not going to be answering that question no more. And so we have two hard-hitting questions right now. Well, one, but the other one we have our personal ones that we like. But the group one is, what's your favorite pie?
That's a loaded question, brother. All right. As for desserts, my favorite is there's a place by my house called Tom's Farm, and they make a caramel apple pie, dude. That it's and I get it with extra caramel. I love it.
Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good.
Yeah, dude, that's it right there. Caramel apple pie from Tom's Farm in Huntley, Illinois.
What about pizza pie?
Oh, just pizza? You talking about pizza?
Yeah, I'm talking about pizza. Pizza pie.
Chicago. Let me tell you something right now. I'm from Chicago, so I know pizza. Everybody else in this whole world don't know pizza. If you're not from the Chicagoland area, you don't know it. I don't care. Everybody says, I don't care from the East Coast, the West Coast, South, or Northeast, whatever the hell where you're from, you don't know pizza. And I've tried it all because that's my favorite food. Pizza. Trust me. And I've been to just about every state. I've been East Coast. People in New York. Oh, that's Pizza World. It tastes like crap. It's folded, dripping cardboard. This is your pizza in freaking where we at? I'm in Jersey now. They fold this shit over, and it's like grease, and it's eating cardboard with cheese on it. That's not pizza. You gotta have. So there's a place by my house called Sal's Pizza, and there's deep dish. There's a place called Buddy's. They moved to Arizona now. That's the best kind of. They call it, either call it double decker, or you call it pizza, or you call it whatever. But I like the thin crust from Sal's. Chicago. I have sausage, extra sauce though. It's all about the sauce. I want pizza with sauce. I don't want just cheese on it. I want the sauce oozing out of it. So whatever the sauce tastes like, that's me. It's all about sauce. Plus, I'm married Italian, so who makes the best sauce there is.
My favorite pizza right now is a place in Champaign called Papadale's. I like that, and then there's one called I'm gonna screw up the name. Giovanni's. I know there's one in Bloomington, and there's
Giordani. You talking about Giordani?
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. If you're ever in my neck of the woods, it's Sal's Pizza by me, and it's Buddy's in McHenry, Illinois. But the owner moved to Arizona. I don't think it's Glendale, it's somewhere else. But his name is Tim. But Buddy's, it's the best deep dish pizza you could ever friggin' eat. And they're renaming it too now, but I'm telling you, in the pizza, everybody talks about, there's Geno's, there's Luminali's, Chicago, stuff like that. But no, if you're ever in Chicago, I'm gonna tell you a place to go. It's not your conventional pizza. It's called Chicago Pizza Oven Grinder. It's basically a pizza pot pie, and you'll literally have to wait 2 hours to get in there. Okay, small joint, but you wait outside for about a couple hours, get drinks if you want, have a couple sippies. But it's called Chicago Pizza Oven Grinder. It's pizza. It's basically a pot pie pizza. Oh my Lord! You'll end up taking one home with you just to have one for the next day. I have to get my own. I tell Melissa I ain't sharing. I want my own pizza, and then I want one for tomorrow too.
I figured out the question to replace the eggnog question. Okay, and this is a controversial question.
Okay.
Pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
Hell no. That's not pizza. That's something. That's something that the West Coast came up with. No. You do not put pineapple on pizza. I hate when people do that. Hey, we got the pineapple pizza over here, and we got the supreme here. No, man, give me just some sausage. If you want to, make it a heart attack pizza. Put some bacon on it, some ground beef, some sausage, some pepperoni, and then we'll call it a pizza. Extra sauce.
I don't know if that's. I don't think that's gonna survive there, Brad.
No,
throw that question away.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, the meat lovers pizza like that, you got to do it that way.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, right on. Well, so my personal question is, since in your driving career, what's the coolest thing that you have crushed or drove over?
Huh. Going through a camper was cool in Anaheim. That was cool. It's just different. I mean, who goes through a camper? And I remember, I think it might have been Houston where they put the pumpkins in the damn car. And Lindsay wrote something on one of the pumpkins with my name on it. I can't say what he wrote, but oh, that son of a gun. He's done a couple things to me. I owe him for. I can't talk about some I want to, but I can't. But I'd probably say the camper was cool, man. That was cool going through it. It was an RV or camper. I don't know what the heck it was. But then a car with pumpkins in it was cool.
Okay, here's a question for me. Favorite old school truck. If you had to I'll rephrase that. If you had to face anybody in history, line up against somebody, who would you face?
Well, I will say, I'll keep saying Dennis Anderson, because who would not want to? I've rode with him plenty of times, but I enjoy competing against him because he's the best there is, Monster Jam and everything else. But as far as my favorite truck, I'm gonna tell you, it's a Bigfoot truck. Was the original one, 74. I mean, that is the coolest looking, and I even like that type of style truck I would drive, So that's my favorite looking truck. But if I want to be with somebody on tour or something, let Dennis come back. Let that guy, because he was just cool to be around, And the more Adam ages, he's still very young, but he just sounds more and more like Dennis. He carries himself more and more. He does. I don't know if you noticed that. If you listen to old school Dennis interview, and now Adam talking, I'm talking Dennis 25 years ago, and Adam now. Listen to their voices. Put them next to you. They had that nasally type of voice a little bit, and it's so. I mean, they're spitting. You can't separate the two. Just listen to him once. It's awesome.
I think the transformation will be finally complete when he starts thanking everybody for every nut and bolt on his truck and every shingle on his roof.
Yep. No, I have a lot of respect for the whole Anderson family.
Well, before we sign off here, and it's a good chat right now. Anything you want to say to the fans that are watching, and
Yeah, man. And I'll say this every time, man. It's because of you we could do what we do. Without you, we would have nothing. As far as it comes in motorsports, but they helped create and mold me and who I am today. And I have nothing but the utmost love and respect for everybody who even attends a show. And it doesn't matter if you like Hot Wheels or Bigfoot or Gravedigger or what. It was a matter of you guys coming there to have us entertain you, because of you, we get to do what we do. And as you can see, live entertainment is all about the fans. It really is. It's not like something you could put on a show without the fans. We need you as much as you need the sport. So thank you, man. If anything I can do for anyone, please reach out to me. And again, like I told you about your podcast, about talking about, depression, talking about, choices in life, but I'd be all about it. I'm all about helping people just to survive. It's hard. I mean, life's hard enough what's going on. I tell you all the time, try to control this. You can't control this, what's going on outside of you. If you can control what you have within your four walls, you're doing better than most people out there. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat the small stuff. Don't worry about other people's opinions. Don't worry about other things. But no, honestly, thank you to all the fans, and I love you all. I appreciate it.
Any type of social media people can follow you at?
Oh, Scott Buetow on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I don't really go on that anymore. But Instagram, TikTok, I don't do anything on it, but I do go on it just for the videos. Dude, I'll spend worthless hours on it. I'm like, why am I looking at this crap? But I'm addicted.
Same here.
Instagram and Facebook. I have my personal Facebook page, and then I also have my motorsports monster truck Facebook page as well, and Instagram. So just please follow me on that, Scott. SCOTTBUETOW. That's it, Holmes.
That's nice. Well, let people know, follow us at Crush This Monster Truck on Facebook, Instagram. Follow me, Dan Agosh, Daniel Chiche Gosh on Facebook. Also on Instagram, my RC with the Gosh RC. I haven't followed them. Well, did I say Instagram? Yeah, we did. And for you, Brad?
You can follow me on Instagram at the Monster Truck Canucker. You can find me on Facebook just under Bradley Shaw. And just give me a follow and check out Bradley Shaw Designs as well. I'm going to be within the next couple of months doing some more stuff with that, kind of getting back on that grind. So go check all that out.
None of you guys told anybody what your Tinder account was.
Tinder.
Or Bumble.
Bumble. Yeah. Or Vine. Remember Vine?
Oh God,
that Vine videos.
No, I don't remember any of them because I never had one.
You can follow me on MySpace at XX Monster Truck Canucker XX. you can be in my top 8.
There you go.
Yeah, and while you enter his face, his MySpace, you'll listen to some early 2000 Buck Cherry. So.
Oh gosh, no. That guy. Okay. I gotta go to a small smidge rant here. I worked at a bar here in Grand Prairie where I lived, and on the jukebox every night, multiple times a night, I had to listen to the song "Crazy Bitch" multiple times a night. I have a hatred for that song because of that.
Oh, boys. All right, guys. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on, and anytime, guys.
No worries. Take care,
Man,
Scott.
thank you. Yeah, we'll probably have you on for that little conversation Brad will have, and if you can help out, you're more than welcome to. So it's going to be a little bit of a serious moment. I know it's all joking aside, but it needs to be expressed more. So
I'm sorry. I'm dying at Nick Davis's comment. Oh God.
Okay.
Oh my. So anyway, once again, guys, thank you for High Octane Coffee. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, J Concepts. Just for your comment, Nick, I ain't thanking your product. 6B Apparel, JB Scale Graphics, and there's a sponsor that says next week. But next week, I think Brad's gonna do his own thing. I have a race next week, so I want to try to get prepared for that and get everything going. So once again, guys,
good luck with your tricycle race, buddy.
Oh, thanks. It's gonna be. I'm gonna do some backflips for you.
All right, guys, I'm out.
Have a good one, Scott. Thanks. Peace. So I read your comments, Nick and Isaac. So I mean, if you want Brad to have his own page, he probably needs it more than I do. Because he has giant sets of land. Anyway, it was a fun show. While Brad's laughing, I'm gonna kick him out. Who wants me to kick Brad out?
No,
yeah, he has a pair now.
I've been on a while. Don't kick me out. You kicked me out earlier, and I was only kidding.
You didn't even follow football.
I'm not a football guy. I'll be honest. Even though Canada has,
then why would you be on? If you're on, then you have your little thing on. Well, you'll be off. He'll kick you off. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go. Well, anyway, guys, I don't know. Well, anyway, we'll figure out something for Brad. The next couple of weeks, be on the lookout. Actually, possibly, I gotta find out through Tristan. Brad may be interviewing Tristan England, so we'll find out here in a little bit what's going on. If not, we'll get something going, guys. But I won't be on next week. So once again, Brad, you do your thing.
All right, it's been a while since I've got to do this, guys. As we always say, we crush this. And first of all, thank you, everybody, for coming on the show and hanging out with us. And as we always say here, keep the rubber side down, the shiny side up, everybody. Peace.
Bye. And we're off.
Oh, dude, that was a good one.
Just kidding.